Greetings to you from Russia again. Today is 23rd of May. We praise you, Lord. We worship you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. Bless our meditation in Jesus' name. Amen. And the words of our mouth. Amen. Well, I believe there is a verse in the Bible in Romans 8:28-29, which is a very power-packed verse, and at the same time we can wonder what it means when we read that God works all things together for good to them that love God and are called according to His purpose. All things, not some things, but all things. But it says that to them that love God and those who are called, those I believe who know that they're called according to His good purpose, to His good pleasure, for whom He has called, for whom He has foreknown, He has predestined, and for those whom He has predestined, He has called, and those He has called, He has glorified. And we can just see in this context of this verse, is amazing, that we've been called to, we've been predestined to be like Christ. And the things which are actually happening to us are working together for that, to that purpose, for us to be like Him. And I think we don't really have another goal. Let's say, what do I really want in my final goal? I want to be like the Son. But we usually don't want the things which are happening to us that would cause us to be like His Son, to be called to be like Him. And it says that that the Son has learned obedience by the things that He has suffered. He learned obedience to the Father, and He knew that His Father was absolutely good. And whatever was happening to Him was because He believed He received it totally because it was from the Father's hand. And I believe the only way I can believe this verse, that all things are working good. God is working all things together for good to those who love Him. And that love, I believe, is not just an emotion. It's a devotion. It's when I am getting through my life, when I'm getting through trials and things I don't understand, and I still trust God, and I say, God, I trust you. And initially it may actually be a reaction. We can actually react to God because we are reacting to people and we don't like what's going on, but we still stick to it. And that verse which says that they love God and are called, and I believe they know that they are called according to His purpose, is not an instant verse. It's not something happening in an instant. I think that this happens in a long-term relationship. Like we love our wives. Well, I fell in love with my wife one day, but then I learned to love her, and that was happening only in a relationship. And yes, we have fallen in love with God. We have loved His forgiveness, His presence, and so forth. But then we learn to love Him, and I think this also means that we learn to trust Him. We trust Him. We are trusting Him in spite of what is going on. and we are confessing, and we are agreeing with God that those things are eventually working together for good. God cannot work something bad, because He is a giver of good gifts, and that belief that God cannot do anything bad is very, very important. Do you believe that God cannot make mistakes? It's like it's out of question. He is not able to do a mistake, and that's why we are able to believe that these things are working together for good, and that they are used by God to make us like His Son in our inner man, in our character. We're becoming like His Son. And one of the amazing characteristics of the Son was the trusting in the love of the Father. So this is just a short meditation that we are called, we have amazing calling, and we believe that God is working all things together for good. It's not a question, because God is good. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Tanya. God bless you. I love you. You are amazing sister. You're an amazing woman of God. You are just a precious saint. Ishtinalnian meg yo devod chodala tosh ish. Мы тебя очень любим, благословляем тебя именем Иисуса. Аминь. Все, до связи. Пока-пока.